Sadly, Mendel never got a chance to celebrate or be celebrated. His momentous discoveries were totally ignored in his lifetime, even though about 120 copies of the journal containing his paper were sent to libraries around the world. In contrast, Darwin, his contemporary and fellow giant of biology, won great fame within his. Perhaps if Darwin had heard about Mendel and his laws, much would have changed for both of them. It almost happened. Mendel mailed a copy of his paper to Darwin, but apparently Darwin never opened the letter. Mendel died in 1884 at age 62. It took another 16 years for the world to finally learn about him.
Oh, why, dear God, did you make it so complex to understand the offspring that result when there is sex? But there is one monk among us who can tell how it all works. We feel like jerks next to Gregor Mendel.
The answer's in my garden where I've planted different peas and sprinkled pollen as I pleased and counted out the progeny.
What did you discover in your garden with your peas about those factors we can't see but which explain our family trees?
Here's the news, they come in twos, they separate, it's up to fate. If an egg or a sperm has a trait that will dominate.
Here's the news, they come in twos, they segregate, it's up to fate. If an egg or a sperm has a trait that will dominate.
And when they join together, my forecasting's most impressive. Betcha 3 times out of 4 I'm right unless they're both recessive.
To what do you owe your success?
To counting and my green thumb. But where these hidden factors are, well, that I cannot fathom.
Here's the news, they come in twos, they segregate, it's up to fate. If an egg or a sperm has a trait that will dominate. Later on the world was odd at what he learned from those pods. But back then no one hurrahed Gregor Mendel but his God. Back then no one hurrahed Gregor Mendel but his God.